Hi Aries, thank you very much for joining me. So let's have a look at you in June. Well, I feel that for you in June, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. There's a change coming. There usually is in June. There's usually something coming. But during this particular type of June, you might think, oh, it's going to be easy, or I'm going to do this and then I'm going to do this and it's just going to be like this. Like, there is a certain type of shift that Aries goes to during certain times of their life, and they'll think that it's easy, like, I just turn up, or I'll just show them what I've got, or I'll just do the same thing as I usually do. So it might be feeling like you could just do it exactly as you've done, but I have a feeling that with this particular month, June provides you this year a feeling like you could not have done it worse if you try to do the same thing again. So what I mean is, if you've got the same plan of action, like say when you're meeting somebody or you are discovering something within a collective or a group, and you pull the same cards, like you do the same things and you say the same stuff, or you wear the same clothes and you become the same kind of personality, I feel it won't work for you. But however, if you're willing to change and you want to do something really drastically unreal for yourself, that's actually going to take you much further than before. I feel that June can give you actually a lot more if you do something really out of the ordinary. So if you like, there's a few things I can suggest, but it does depend on what kind of Aries are you. So with the different charts, it might be different things. I mean, if you find yourself like a very subdued and very, very vulnerable person, sometimes a very emotional person, it probably would be not so good to try and be too unique. However, if you're very bright and you generally are very generous with your expression, it's a very good time to shop. It's a very good time to shop. Bright colors, things that you would never wear. Just buy that one thing that sort of protects you from your previous self this June. So protects you from patterns and becoming somebody for people that is very, very automatic. So for example, if you are somebody who is in a different country, or you are around different people, something new is coming up, or you've got a new frontier with somebody, being the same type of personality is not going to give you anything. So start here. Perhaps you might want to buy something that is very bright or very, very strange. Maybe you might want to create a very different presence, or even like an alter ego or something that you can create in order to protect your sensitivity from getting pulled under, because it is very likely that sometimes, for example, if you've got like a certain response with people, you just know how to carry yourself, you know how to talk, and you might actually find that the usual ways in which you are behaving pull you under, and people kind of don't listen, or they just become uninterested in who you are. So I feel that definitely for the first part of June, the best is the brightest and the best is the weirdest. Even if you're a very sensitive type of Aries, and you usually find it very, very sensitive for yourself to be around new people, or to be persecuted, or to be pushed aside, it might be really nice to create for yourself some kind of a hold where you feel new and where you can develop at your own rate, because it might feel like you can play your old cards at the moment, but you can't play your new cards. You can only be part of yourself, but not the entire self. And it might be a very, very nice time to create some kind of a system for yourself where you do a lot of self reform through your own inner worlds. For example, if you sometimes have a hard day at work and then you go home and you sit there and you sing to yourself, or you sing about nothing, or you like to talk to yourself, it's actually really interesting to talk to you and not other people during this time, because it's almost like you're rediscovering your identity, or you are rediscovering your choices again. Perhaps how you've been putting your steps before is not going to be how you put your steps now, and when people see you reverting to old behaviors just to conceal that a part of you is shifting and growing, you might be shunned. Because when Gemini time, when we see you not being true to yourself and being kind of like helpless but trying to look really strong, we kind of shun you. So Aries is usually wanted when they are perfect, meaning when they are strong, optimistic, they don't see any wrong with themselves, they don't see any wrong with the world, they feel completely alive and enlightened and free to do whatever they want. When we see that in you, Aries, we love that, but usually during this time we can see that you're changing, and particularly during this particular month of June 2017, I feel you shifting on such a deep internal level that when you are trying to come across confident, we can sense it, and if you are trying not to hurt us, we can feel it. So don't how can I say, don't oversensitize yourself about yourself, and don't try to commit to a certain type of persona that other people don't understand either. It's like a very interesting game, almost like of hide and seek with yourself. There is a part of you that might want to have a lot of meaning. There is a part of you that might want to create joy without really showing people how you feel on the inside. There might be parts of you that really feel vulnerable, but they don't want to see themselves as that. There may be a few fragments of yourself that are very, very chirpy, and then in other ways you might, like, say, go home and cry, you know, and there's lots of different inconsistencies. So basically, to understand this, design the idea for yourself that you're growing again. You're growing and you are showing yourself a different part of yourself that you may not want. Perhaps you see that you are suddenly maternal, or perhaps you see that you are suddenly very egoic, or you feel like you might actually not want anything in your life anymore. You're brushing everything off, or you are so connected to your own world that you really don't want anybody around. There may be so many different ways in which you are suffering this month, because the usual propositions from reality always come to you. You know, there's always like sexual partners that are available. You know, there's always maybe money that's fun, or people that are enjoying you. There's always something happening during this time that is obvious, but at the same time there's an inner turmoil for most of you guys, for most Aries, and it has to be protected. So surround yourself in beauty. I mean, why I'm going to India perhaps during this time is to shift myself completely, because I'll have a ascendant right on Saturn in Sagittarius where I'm going. But the thing is, for you guys, for Aries people, is it's a very big shifting month. It's a very, very challenging month. It is not easy, and your responses to things may shock you, and how you are referring to other people may be very frightening. What you see in another person may not be that scary, but who you are with them, how you act with them, how you hold their hand, how you're concerned about them or not concerned might actually really freak you out. So during this time, definitely create for yourself either a very, very outward cocoon, for example, new clothes, new demeanor, new like professional energy, new outward expression of yourself, or you can connect to an internal energy if that scares you too much. If it scares you too much to get a makeover and be a completely different person as an alter ego of yourself, it may be very, very nice to create a cozy environment at home where you can go and you can enjoy and you can just eat and sit and be still. So because we've already been through Taurus, and maybe there's a lot of unresolved issues within some Aries coming up now, it might be a good time to distill yourself for now in luxury, or in the feeling that you can have. And sometimes, like for Aries, what it takes to be comfortable is just simplicity, like putting your feet up, having a cup of tea, having a nice conversation with somebody, having somebody at home, having the time to just be yourself, to wear your track pants and, you know, your old t-shirt, and just to be yourself. There might be a need to connect to yourself in a really different way. So for example, if you're one of those people that's wearing an old t-shirt around the house and track pants and just wants to like curl up in a ball and cuddle yourself, or wants to have that nice, you know, cup of milk, or, you know, that nice relaxing experience, that's alright. Don't be afraid of that, because when you are going through a lull, it is important to know that you're going through a lull. And that's something that Aries miss a lot of the time, because quite often they go through lulls and they think they're going through highs, but they can't pull it off. And they might, for example, really want to surround themselves with lots of people and be really, really outward when they actually need to be inward. So if you're one of those Aries, it's all about balance here. You might need to realize, for example, if you are trying to pull too much energy in a conversation just because you want to appear like you're okay, that's not so good. But if you are understanding the conversation is nice and easy, but there's other depths and other hardships that you're experiencing this year or this month, it's really good to adjust to those in your own time and in your own way. So have a look at how you can please yourself during this month of June, Aries. Like, have a look at what you can do with yourself. For example, if you love playing music, it's a really nice time to join up with people that can concentrate on themselves and concentrate on you. Like really nice mellow environments are really good, and maybe it's time to step out of the closet with a few things. Maybe it's a really good idea to join up with people that are already like a family, or already have you and hold you in a really, really serene way. It might be nice to join up to people who have a lot of heart for you already. It might be nice to join up with people that have a lot of understanding of who you are. It may be also nice to be alone or be inside in some really comfortable and serene way as well. So without further ado, let's have a look at what else you've got. On the relationship front, I feel for Aries, things are a little bit of a mystery. I feel you might not know it when you see it. You might not see it when you know it. So like you might connect to somebody and you think that's nothing, but that's actually a relationship. or you might see that somebody's not fit for you or not used to you, but they're actually really hungry for you, or they actually really love having you around. You might see that this person is a very comfortable and confident person, but they're actually trying to brush you off. Or you might feel that this person is really awake and really enlightened and is ready to be with me, or like ready to be awake with me or aware with me, but you might actually see that they're not later. So there's lots of like confusion in terms of relationship. I feel that keeping things simple and keeping things in a really normal level with people is great. Like say for example, just having coffee together, just having dinner together, and also stepping aside if you don't feel completely proud of yourself yet, and letting them talk or letting them evolve without you trying to connect you or connect the dots, because sometimes Aries wants to connect the dots. Okay, this is one thing that you might do. So for example, you might see this person might be with me for a long time, and you might just want to connect the dots for them, and you might go, okay, so I want to move to Los Angeles and I want you to move with me, so you're just going to pack your bags, we're going to move, we're going to get married, we're going to get a house, we're going to work together, for example. Or like you might see somebody who's like a little bit tired of you, and you might say straight away, well, you're tired of me, you don't want me, I don't like you either, I'm just going to let you go. So it's very nice, very neat not to try and shift people too soon, too fast. You might see the future way further than other people can. Okay, that's another thing. If you're a fortune teller or you are some kind of a psychic during this time, you might see things way too many steps ahead. You might actually see the big picture of someone's life so big that people can't even relate to you when you're talking, and you might actually see so many different dimensions for other people, even though you might be a little bit hurt or vulnerable yourself during this month of June, that people kind of freak out. So it's really nice to take things a step at a time and to keep things normal and really safe. For example, if you're reading cards for somebody, if you're a tarot reader, it might be really nice to slow down. And although yes, you can say everything, you probably can see a lot more during June than other people can fathom, it would be really nice to slow it down and to say only a few things in order to keep a person feeling safe at the same time as healed and heard and informed. So it may not be so nice to like jump out too far in the distance and tell them everything that's going to happen, and with relationships and feelings, it also is not nice to do that either. So you can see where it's all going with your partner or your friend, but you don't have to like kind of like shove them aside straight away if you see that it's not good enough, or you don't have to push them into you if you can see that there is an attraction. You have to like let people unfold at their own pace here, unfold at their own pace, because some people will not accept you the way that you are. There's a lot of people that are wanting to earn more, they're wanting to stabilize themselves more, they're wanting more beauty and more creativity in their life, and they're actually not really looking for the bigger picture yet. They're not really wondering about the greater intense blueprint of their soul, and they may not actually really want the really hardcore things that you can offer at the moment, whether you're a practitioner or not. I mean, all of us Aries people, or Aries touched people, clusters in Aries as well, we all have a prophetic type of energy. We all can prophesize, and we all can see way further in the future than a lot of other people can imagine, and that's because we're a very progressive sign, Aries. But since June is not really a particularly good time to shove and push people beyond what they now know they can imagine. It might be really nice, say if you're, for example, reading cards, or even you're talking to a friend and you can see a lot, you can probably see so much that it's hurting you. And if you're really empathetic and you're really like a centered person, it might be so much information that it hurts you. You can even like look at a house and you can imagine that house is going to burn down soon, or you can see a person, you can see that person might be in an accident soon. It will be very nice not to offer any kind of advice on those types of things. It may be very nice to just like lay it back. And even with your partnership, you might think, oh, that's going to not work out in the end, and it might crack, and it might not, but it definitely might. Like, you can already kind of see where it's going. Like, you can, but because you are very fragile, and you're learning a new skill perhaps, or you are answering like your own prayers, or you're understanding what you want and where you wish to be and how you're going to go about it, because you're very sensitive and fragile, it's not a good idea to take a lot of energy on yourself and be that person who prophesizes or who pushes people together or against you or away from you or towards each other. It is going to hurt later, because it's like you're not protected here. To scream out at somebody at the moment is not great. To tell someone off is not great. To say a rude joke is not great. So basically, take it as you like it. It's a very interesting idea to dress differently and to be very subtly honest with people. Like, say you might wear a bracelet, you might wear a necklace that for you communicates something, but you don't have to scream at people. So basically, we are not there where you are at the moment, and that's okay, because you are very futuristic at the moment. So just take it a step at a time and treat us as children. Thank you very much, Aries. I hope you have a wonderful time. If you want to know more about this month or about you, let me know. There's information in the caption below, and if you'd like to subscribe, that would be great. Thanks a lot. Bye.